Hello and welcome back to another episode of SHS Today. First, we have Travis Woodman and Tina Pham with how kids can use their money in the stock market. Then we have Mitch Mazer and Max Watkins on who can make the best homemade pizza. And last but not least, we have Riley Purvis on how we went from records to CDs and how they've changed over the years. All on another episode of SHS Today.
Hello, Saline, and welcome back to another episode of SHS Today, as we bring you the last episode of February. I'm Britlee Warren.
And I'm Andra Gatlin. Thank you for joining us. Now let's get into the show.
I don't know about you, but something all teenagers seem to be lacking is money. Travis shows us an interesting way that kids our age can potentially make some cash.
When I think of the stock market, I think of rapidly changing numbers. Men in suits calling out random numbers, screaming across a tightly packed floor in Wall Street. I want to learn more about the stock market, so I sat down with one of the teachers here at SHS, Mr. Pike, to discuss it.
So stocks are investments in companies, corporations, so partial investments that the public is basically giving money to the company itself, so the company can buy new technology and or expand their business. If the company does well, the value of the stock goes up, and theoretically over the long term, everybody wins.
The first things that students could do before investing in stock is to do research. You might want to know if you want to invest in a short-term stock, which is more risky, or a long-term stock, which is more something a consideration for retirement. What teenagers think about retirement anyway? If you'd like to find more information, you can find more on MarketWatch, Google Finance, or Investopedia.
I hope people have some familiarity so that when they have a job, whether it's a part-time job as a student or first job out of school and out of whatever training you might have, that the stock market is a good way to maximize your income and help grow your financial nest egg.
Of course, don't forget to give your parents a heads up before spending all your college savings. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Travis Woodman. Back to you in the studio.
I know if I had a lot of money, I would buy 1 trillion pizzas.
I actually prefer to make my own pizzas.
Well, you're in luck because our friends Mitch and Max decided to share their homemade pizza recipes with us.
Hello, Saline High School. I know that when I'm hungry, nothing is better than a slice of homemade pizza. So I'm going to walk you through how to make the best homemade pizza in the city of Saline.
Sorry, Mitch, but did you just say the best homemade pizza? Because I know for a fact the only pizza with that title comes out of my oven, and I don't remember giving you a recipe.
Are you suggesting a pizza off?
I think you know what I'm suggesting.
Guess it's settled then. May the best pizza win.
You're on.
It's looking pretty bad for you. My pizza is clearly superior.
We'll see about that when we taste each other's pizzas. You know what? I just realized we've made our pizzas separately. There is literally no way for either of us to taste each other's pizzas.
I guess we were so excited about the competition that we overlooked the fact that we are not in the same room.
Yeah.
However, your pizza does look really good.
Yeah, so does yours. I guess we'll just have to call it a draw this time around.
This has been Mitch Mazer and Max Watkins competing for SHS Today. back to you in the studio.
Good stuff.
Pizza will always have a piece of my heart.
That was cheesier than Max's pizza.
Speaking of pizza, I wonder what kind of pizza you guys like.
We would actually love to hear what kind of pizza you guys like. So tag us in a post on Instagram at Saline Video or Twitter at SHS Today, telling us what your favorite pizza is. And the next time you see us, we'll announce Saline's favorite pizza. You may remember from a previous show, Riley talked about vinyl records. As a continuation of that package, Riley decided to compare them to CDs. It's fascinating when you know more about the history behind the records. Take it away, Riley.
What's going on, Saline? Today, I will be discussing the similarities between vinyl records and compact discs. So let's get started. First off, you have vinyl records, which were created around the late 1880s, left the mainstream in 1991, and then came back around the late 2000s. This was how we listened to music back in the day, and this is personally my favorite music format. It may not have the sound quality of a Walkman or an MP3, but this is where you will find the best sound quality for music. Also, there are two common speeds that a record can play at, 33 1/3 and 45 RPM, which can depend on if you're listening to a 7 or 12-inch vinyl record. Although there is one thing that I don't like about vinyl, and that's that once one side of music is done, you'd have to flip it over to listen to the rest of the disc. Then you have compact discs, which were created around the late 1980s, but didn't really take off until the 90s. Right off the bat, these are more portable, which means I could take them and say, listen to them in my car or in a portable CD player. Also, CDs can hold more content compared to a vinyl record, which means that some albums have bonus tracks in addition to the regular album. However, with the use of CDs, that means that you unfortunately lose a little bit of sound quality. More specifically, analog audio on a vinyl record is physically read by a needle. Even if it's prone to physical interference and noise, vinyl is widely known for having a warmer, more lifelike sound. As for CDs, while digital audio may be considered superior to vinyl, which includes a better signal-to-noise ratio, audio on a CD is encoded and read by a laser, which ultimately means that the audio pushes some aspects of the music back in order to have good sound quality. Well, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed and learned a few things you might not have known about CDs and vinyl. Signing off, I'm Riley Perfect. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Riley. Well, that's all the time we have this week. We've learned a lot in this show. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at SHS Today, as well as Instagram and YouTube at Saline Video. I'm Britlee Warren.
And I'm Andra Gatlin. Tune in next week for the stories about coffee quarantine purchases, a new challenges that teenagers face when choosing a college during COVID times. Have a great week, Hornets.